Hi, my name's Christopher Day. I've been a stenographer for 11 years. I've been running this Stenonymous blog for about 4 years. And that started as just a way for me to push out information that I had trouble finding as a young reporter. One of my first posts was get a real job. That was all about how to get grand jury, court, and workers' comp job in New York City. And again, all stuff that I had trouble with, I thought should be very public and no barrier to finding that information. So fast forward a bit, and around that time that I started the blog, people were asking on social media, "Oh, does does such and such company use digitals? Does this company use it? Does that company?" And court reporters were coming on and going, "Oh, no, 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 they don't use digital. Oh, no, no, they only use it for emergency." And I started documenting who's using digital. And I had three articles. One was Stenographers, Veritext is not your friend. One was Stenographers, US Legal is not your friend. One was Stenographers, Planet Depots is not your friend. And I just put it out there. And not a lot happened for a while. And then it started to heat up after a bit because I started to notice some weird things. And I'll specifically talk about US Legal. I noticed that they bought Steno Train and then they dusted it. Like if you Google Steno Train, you get my blog. That's how thoroughly it has been wiped from the internet. So that's kind of circumstantial, right? But then earlier 2021, I realized that they were having recruiters reach out and try to build interest in the digital reporting. And they're trying to build that interest instead of trying to build the interest in Steno. And it all kind of came to a head when I got Rick Levy to admit in a private message to me that they weren't using ProLink or Sourcebook to recruit stenographers. And this is kind of a big deal because about a third of our field is in the NCRA, so about a third of our field is in the ProLink. So if you're not using Sourcebook to recruit people, you are not actually trying to recruit stenographers. And then we know through other nonprofits like Protect Your Record Project that attorneys are being told, oh, there's no stenographer available. Well, how do you say there's no stenographer available if you're not trying to recruit them? Either you're extremely incompetent, which I just refuse to believe because you're a very rich corporation, or you're lying. You're committing a fraud. You're committing a deception. You understand? So that's where I'm at. That's why I've published some of the articles that I've published. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put several links in the description below, and I encourage people to read. But I wanted to address something very quickly. A lot of people in response to my work are going, "Oh, well, don't you believe in unity? And don't you believe there is a shortage?" It's like, yes, yes, I do. I understand completely. My whole point in this is that these corporations that have millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue are actively working against us. There's no other way to put it other than they are actively working against us while they're going, oh, but you're the gold standard. We just can't get enough of you. So that's why. And the more that they push that, the more that we begin to believe it, the more that we begin to say there's nothing we can do. And so to anybody who's looking at my work and going, oh, well, why are you dividing us? It's like, because there's a certain point where you have to stand up and you have to fight. And you have to say, this is wrong. There's science that says we're the best chance people have at an accurate record. So it's just what it is, and I'm carrying it forward. And court reporters threw together a $5,000 fund for me to advertise that to lawyers, to advertise the deception, to put it out there, to get it out there. And these oh so powerful corporations, they haven't done squat. They haven't even contacted me to say, "Could you please stop? Could you please stop saying that?" So at this point, their whole game plan is to pretend I don't exist. And so your game plan, if you care about stenographic reporting or the legal record or captions for that matter, because they're trying to pull the same automatic speech recognition BS in captioning, your game plan has to be, I'm going to share this. I'm going to speak against this too. I'm going to try to make a difference because someone has shown me that a difference can be made. You know, you can look at the things you're being told and you can think about them critically, and you know, you just kind of ask yourself, does the person telling me this have an interest in me being ignorant or in me believing the same thing that they do? And I'll tell you right up front, I have an interest. I'm a stenographer. If these guys are right and half this field retires in 10 years, 70% of this field retires in 10 years, I'm out of a job just by attrition. You know, the powers that be are just going to be like, well, there's not enough of you. Goodbye. But if we start educating and we start saying, oh, this is actually a real problem. Oh, you're actually going to need a lot more digitals than you're saying to cover this work. Oh, you know, statistically, they're going to be less accurate. Oh, this is going to hurt minorities. Like all these things that matter to our justice system. And again, choice to remain silent and watch the big old corporation just do whatever the hell it wants, or speak up and be like, no, actually, this is wrong. And actually, you're wrong. And actually, I don't care how much investor money you have. Come at me, bro. And that's kind of where we're at. I mean, you know, that's it. And so to anybody that watches thinks I'm not on your side because, you know, whatever. I'm not worried about your little $100,000 corporation or your little $200,000 corporation. I'm worried about the folks who have millions of dollars passing through these companies that are just like trying to convince you that you're powerless because you're not. That's it.